What day of the week it is, what month it even is. It is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yes, Star Wars Day today. Yep, another reason to celebrate and smile today. What better way to mark the day than to chat with a bona fide Stormtrooper, a Jersey Stormtrooper nonetheless. A very good afternoon to you.
Hello, Jenny, and hello, listeners. How are you? Would it be easier if I went off the flight deck and took my helmet off?
Yes, get off the flight deck if you wouldn't mind, and yeah, take that helmet off.
Let me go and do that right now. 1 second.
There we go. You should be able to hear me a little better now.
I can, Mr. Stormtrooper, a.k.a. Paul Bentley. Appreciate this. May the 4th be with you, Paul. May the 4th be with you.
And you, Jenny, and everyone listening in.
Now, for those who've been living on another planet and have never watched a Star Wars film, do explain for us that expression, may the 4th be with you.
Well, it's a iconic line from the film. I think Alec Guinness says it to Luke, may the Force be with you. And, of course, May the 4th is pretty much the same line. So it's been adopted as the unofficial Star Wars Day for Star Wars fans and people who love the movies.
And there's a lot of them, isn't there? What is it about Star Wars that people love?
I think it connects with a lot of people. It's not a new story. It's kind of like in the style of the old Westerns and things like that. It's like a fairy tale. It's finding home. It's about family. And it's kind of like just set in space. But George Lucas sort of made this huge looking and sounding film which just grabbed people's attention. It had a real charm about it. And unlike previous space films, everything was beaten up and weathered. It had a history and a backstory, which kind of made it interesting for people. And it had a real charm about it. And George Lucas invented new filmmaking technology to make it look this big. And lots of films use that technology now, but at the time it was groundbreaking. So when people saw that ship fly over in the first movie in 1977, it blew them away. It was big and powerful. And the new movies, even now, each time a new film comes out, they amp up the effects a little bit more, just so they're always ahead of everyone else. And it's still awesome.
You know, I was talking about people living on another planet if they've never watched a Star Wars film. Do you know how many I've seen, Paul?
I don't, Jenny, but there's quite a few to choose from now. Well, go ahead, let me know.
A big fat zero.
Oh, no.
No, it's so embarrassing.
This is going to lead to you're going to be limited questioning ability.
Well, my main question is, what order are you supposed to watch the darn things in?
Well, we've got 9 trilogy movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but they were made in this order: 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. But there's 2 ways you can, if you want the story arc, watch them in order 1 to 9. But
Okay.
if you want to experience the kind of charm of the original movies and the impact that it must have had on people watching them for the first time, watch them in the order they were released. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and then you get the kind of look at what other films are out in 1977, and you'll realise how groundbreaking Star Wars was.
Why is there that issue with Star Wars, though? Why is there that order issue?
Well, George Lucas wrote this huge story, this huge saga, but at the time, in 1976-7, he only had enough budget to make this small section of the story. So there was always this backstory behind all the characters. And once he had the success of Star Wars, he was able to make the other films. And then he went back and made the prequel to the film. So, yeah, there's 9 parts to the Skywalker saga, if you like. It's films 1 through 9. And we've just had the 9th film, The Rise of Skywalker, which has been the latest one that's just out on streaming platforms now. And, so you can watch that from home from now.
Well, I've got time at last to get started on these. So next time you speak to me, I hope to have seen a few more. So you're
Excellent.
a Stormtrooper. What do you look like for anyone who doesn't know? And I do know the answer to this as well. You're big and white, aren't you?
That's it. It's the white sort of plastic armour, helmet, backpack, blaster, and everyone you see in these screen-accurate costumes made them themselves, so they're a labour of love. You craft them and create them. You spend weeks and months gluing and welding things. So there's a kind of spirit behind making one of these costumes, a bit like the original prop makers in the films in 1977. The skills that they used to bring the universe to life. That's when you build one, you kind of do it in the same spirit. So it's kind of like the ultimate fan homage, if you like. We love these films so much that we make a screen-accurate version of the costumes.
Oh my gosh! So what is Star Wars Day today? What are your plans for the rest of the day? Are you just you're not out and about as you normally are, so you're just gonna walk around the house as a stormtrooper?
Well, you know what? If you see my little online video that I made, which was a day in the life of a stormtrooper on lockdown, you'll search for that and find it. I've been wearing the kit enough over the last couple of days, so I'm going to have a break from it today. But it's been fun answering everybody's messages and replies on Facebook and things. They really appreciate it. And the whole world is all the fans are kind of doing something online. It's fun to see what everyone's doing.
It's
But
great.
we try to use this for fun and positivity. Over the last few years, we've raised thousands for local charities. We've focused on children's charities, so Robin Ward and Skaboo and places like that. We've raised, literally, I think at last count was about 14,000. So
it's incredible.
Like over the last 7 years, yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure there'll be more of that in months to come when all this is over. But for now, I hope you enjoy wandering around the house in the outfit. Really appreciate chatting to you. May the 4th be with you, Paul Bentley. Paul is one of the Jersey Stormtroopers on what is Star Wars Day.